All right, let me pull up Waterdeep.
Yeah, an advantage has appeared.
Such a large map, so I have to rescale it. One sec.
So,
Okay,
Fantasy Ground had an update, and we're all dealing with the consequences.
so
I
where
like
we are
big
going,
maps, and I cannot lie.
where we are going to begin today's session. The Xanathar Guild is a very secretive group. You know that the Xanathar's lair is not in Waterdeep. It is somewhere deep in the Undermountain. But you were transported to and fro via teleportation. You also aren't allowed to know where in Waterdeep the guild hall is at your current level of reputation. That can change if you decide to throw your lot in with the Xanathar Guild. So you are teleported back, again blindfolded, and again taken through an unnecessarily complex route before you are dropped somewhere in the trade ward with a very, very suspiciously gem-encrusted staff, perhaps? Let's talk first a little bit about how we're going to be discreet with having a very powerful magical item in our possession.
Okay, so it's Calder, Echo, and Stinky, and we've been let out of a building that, finally took the bags off of our head, and it's definitely not the building that had the teleportation circle in it.
Yes.
Right? All right.
Yes.
And this was our prize. We have succeeded in acquiring our boon.
Mm-hmm. Echo's holding the staff, right?
The understanding, of course, being that this is a loan, and so long as you return the staff forthwith when you finish with it, everything will be good.
Okay. Like, what parameters were we given for using it?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Use once. Use however many times we want.
So
return within a year. What? Like,
I'll give a little bit. Yeah, I'll give a little bit of yeah. So we're gonna say you specifically said in the last session that you were seeking to bring back your friend. I don't think you said his name, but you said specifically there was one person you were trying to bring back. So yes, we will say you use the staff once, you return it.
Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
The staff itself, it's the one that you described to Kretha. It's the ornate gold and purple and
it's so ornate. It is downright gaudy.
Okay. So, Echo looking at this, and we're still in are we still in basically the costumes that we wore in? Like, Echo didn't bring a change of clothes.
Are you still wearing a skull mask?
I think actually, yeah, Echo is still wearing the full
Awesome.
getup. I mean, Calder's mask got shattered, so
I imagine he used mending to put it back together for the exit.
Totally.
Yeah. Echo will look at the staff, and it's ornate, look down at himself. He's covered in blood and bruises, and would look out of place on a city street, even in Waterdeep. And so he casts Disguise Self on himself, and that disguises both you and all of the equipment and things you are wearing. So the staff is going to look like an old but sturdy walking stick, and Echo is going to look like a blonde-haired halfling woman who, if anybody rolls a high enough religion check, might look very familiar to a certain type of people.
Oh, speaking of, I need to check cameras really quick. So now Gale is 1. And now Jeff is 2.
I'm not saying Echo's disguising himself to look like his goddess, but he's disguising himself to look like the mortal form of his goddess.
Okay, perfect. Yes, I do note, by the way, there's a bit of delay between recording this and it going out, so don't worry, we're seeing all the things that you're commenting at us, but I do realize that we're on a bit of a delay. I'm not sure why, but we're gonna push on.
Yeah. So Echo will do a full disguise, and we'll look over at Stinky, and then we'll look at Calder and be like, hopping's not really conducive to broken ribs. Can I get a piggyback ride?
Fine. Calder will like attempt it and will kneel.
Yep. Echo just climbs right on.
Takes the staff. Will
Holds
grab the staff.
in front.
Okay. Continue on. Stinky, please follow.
Stinky follows,
Ah.
but he does not hop. He gives Echo kind of a look, and then he does, because frogs don't always hop. They can use their legs and walk. It's a really low kind of draggy walk because their arms and legs are splayed out, but he can definitely do it. So yeah, he definitely gives you a look and walks.
Where do you
Echo.
go? What do you do?
Heading back to the inn immediately.
So once we get a good, 12 or so blocks away from whatever building they dropped us at, Echo is going to relax a little bit now that it seems that they are actually being able to walk away with the thing they were after, and he will say to Calder, "You were right. I was being unnecessarily risk-taking in that first fight, and I put a lot on you being able to bring me back up, and so you were right. It wasn't a very kind position to put you in, and I'm sorry about that."
Calder will more like sort of bristle a little bit, but like clearly and like trying to hide a smile. But won't say anything in immediate reply, but will pet Echo's arm and mutter a word of casting false life on Echo to relieve the pain a bit.
Echo is gonna just hold on a little tighter.
Back to the
Yeah.
Back to the absurdly luxurious White Wing Inn and Suites.
I thought. Wait, no, weren't we heading to the Awning Portal?
Or are you going to the Awning Portal?
I am not going to the Awning Portal dressed like this.
Oh, that's fair. We'll go to the
So
White
instead you're
Wing.
going to go to the
Like,
White
I
Wing
did that is absolutely. It's like, are we going to the Awning Portal? No, I'm not going to the Awning Portal dressed like this.
Fair enough.
Thong time.
Calder in the art is wearing like a black furry skirt. You know, it's very Conan-esque.
It's a loincloth.
Also, this cape like flaps unwilling against our will. So
Yes.
Whether you wanted to or not, all the time.
How it's working with Echo doing piggyback? Is it just like
It's just
under him?
slapping you.
I figure that it's protesting as violently as it can as a piece of cloth, but
I love that visual.
so yeah, we get to the once we get to the end, Calder will we'll call for have a bath drawn and we'll change and get us change of clothes.
I think that's a good place, unless there's anything else, to sort of fade to black and move on to the next scene. Because I like the idea of Calder getting into the bath and going, ugh.
Yes. Point of order.
Yes.
Calder.
The fact that Calder carried him all the way here, Echo's gonna give him a kiss on the cheek before like shuffling off and like trying to get into the nice warm bath.
Oh.
Yeah, and Calder doesn't like that staff is super valuable, so he will actually activate his bag of tricks. So I guess I need to roll a D8 again.
Bring it on. Do the thing.
Oh, Echo's bringing the staff in the bath.
Ooh,
with
an 8. That's a new one.
He's not letting it go.
All right, let me pull that up. Oh no, I've already got it. Okay, cool.
Now I have in my head like Echo a la Geralt of Rivia.
So hold on.
With
Hold
the
on.
staff
Jeff.
like across.
Jeff, where Where are
suite.
you pulling out this bag of tricks? This is very important. Where are you when you pull this out?
Presumably, we're in his. We are in the suite of the. White Wing Inn. Like
Excellent.
in their private quarters.
The suite is now at least a quarter full of giant elk.
Cool.
Like, think of
I'll
a
just look at-
particularly large moose. We're talking
the
like
giant elk and
big,
go-
big.
That's new. We'll pet it on its forehead.
Oh, I hope it doesn't scrape the ceilings.
A little bit. Those antlers are very wide. It does not look like it is enjoying being in such a small space.
Does it know how to kneel? Can elk kneel? I know some horses can be trained to kneel.
Well, it says it obeys my command, so I will command it to kneel.
It is able to, yes, attempt to take up a little bit smaller of a space, but this is an inconveniently large elk in the middle of your suite.
I don't think
I
you
am
can get it
tasked-
out of the suite.
Until we leave, I'm going to let it. Until we leave, I'm just going to let. It's going to be like our alarm system. Its alarm is very simple. If it sees someone try and touch that staff, it is to stand up.
Perfect. The suite is going to be large enough because a large creature is 10 by 10. So there will be like an area around the edge where you can kind of sort of shuffle around it. Yeah, the suite is large enough to accommodate it, but it's definitely going to be a thing that you have to work around. Excellent. Oh, love it. This game is going great already.
That's a good fade to black. I think.
There's our fade to black moment. Yes. So there are a few individual scenes that I kind of want to run with each of you before you leave Waterdeep. Now, you mentioned heading back to the Awning Portal. Was there anything you were going to do there other than drop off the locket to Durnan, which is his name, by the way, in case everyone forgot, because all NPC names sound the same? What do you got, Jen?
Probably, well, because I wasn't with them, so I have to get back. And I have to get my stuff off of Barnabas, and I was going to show them off to the other people. So
Perfect.
that's my goal. But like they were coming from a different area than I was. I was coming from the
Yeah.
servants.
We'll-
So I
we'll
would
say-
probably wind up back with the gang.
Yeah.
And they still think I can't talk.
And well, honestly, once Kreitha, like we've decided or we've determined that once Kreitha decides she doesn't want to be perceived anymore, she can just go, right?
That's true.
She's like John Cena. You can't see her. So like, yes, I have no problem with you being brought back to the Horkers alley and then just quietly slipping away. And you can get back, if you are heading to the White Wing Inn, I can say that you would get there probably a few hours after the rest of the party does. So they will be fully in the lap of luxury with a giant moose in the center of the suite when Kreitha arrives at the inn.
Not a moose. Moose are separate.
You're right.
Would
It's
I
an
have gone
elk,
back
not a
to
moose.
the White Wing? I probably would have gone to the Yawning Portal because I would have
Oh,
expected
yes, you wanted to
everybody
get-
else to meet up Barnabas there. I wouldn't think let's go have a bath. I would think gotta get to
Fair enough. Let's get
So
you
I
to the
would
Awning
actually
Portal. Totally.
go to the Yawning Portal.
Okay,
yeah.
okay, let's do that. I'm going to pull up the image of the Awning Portal because I love this picture. I'm going to share it with you all because I want to overwhelm your screens with large images.
Plus, she's still a little bit suspicious of the lap of luxury.
That's entirely fair, it being a brand new experience for Kreitha.
One
So,
thing I don't notice, you Geralt of Rivia right next to the lamppost.
And
no.
Matt Mercer sitting on the fountain.
pretty much, yeah.
There's a few Critical Role characters in there.
Oh yeah, there is. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 critical role characters of the 7 characters in this picture.
I'm not going to get sued, am I? Okay.
Yeah. It looks like fan art or more than
No, it's
So, yes, you make your way back to the Awning Portal. What time is it? I'm going to give you this choice. I haven't asked anybody yet. So, Jen, what time is it when you get to the Awning Portal Inn?
I would think that we would have ended this whole thing on the second day, probably in the evening. And then, so it's probably,
It could be late. Like if you came
I
out of
would
here
say
right
it's
after.
I'm probably rolling in about like dawn-ish.
Yeah.
Like the twilight of dawn.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect
So-
sense. So you
Yeah.
get into the inn. It is not as crowded as it was the first time you went in. In fact, mostly what you see are sort of worker types sitting around drinking coffee and eating eggs. Like any diner.
Yeah.
Durnan is not behind the bar. What do you do?
Well, I'm not going to just hand back what Durnan lent me to just any rando.
Good
So
plan. Good plan.
I
A+.
I know which rooms Echo and Barnabas are supposed to be in,
Yes.
or were we only me? Okay,
Yeah,
then
I
I'm gonna
will.
go
I will
up
say that
to-
you know which room that they are in.
then I'm gonna go up to the room.
Excellent.
Still looking just kind of all servanty and ragged.
Not wearing the symbol anymore, right? Like you took that part off, right?
Yeah, I took that off. I would have taken that off and left that at the with the
The other goblins.
yeah.
that makes
'Cause we
sense.
would probably all take them on and off at the same time.
Yeah, and I feel like much like at Disneyland, these uniforms are probably communal.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, right? So you knock, and yeah, Barnabas answers the door. He answers the door first. Oh man, he's paranoid. How do I want to do this? So he cracks the door, and you see several chains in between you and him, and all you can see is an eye peering down at you from about a foot above your head.
Good morning.
Oh, of course. He closes the door and thus begins, as yeah, the trope is the trope. A ridiculously long sequence of unlocking things, opens the door and invites you in.
Did you put extra chains on the door? Never mind. Have Echo and Calder and Stinky have they come back yet?
No, I haven't seen them, but I've heard news.
You've
It gets
news?
around.
Yes. What have you heard? I did not see
I'm
them
pretty
after
sure I heard.
Xanathar took them into and had conversations, so I had to go with servants.
I got this information secondhand, so it might be off, but I heard that Echo punched an earth elemental in the dick.
Yes, that is probably not what I consider the most important of the things that you probably should have heard, but definitely the most entertaining. Echo.
He'll
the
get
only
serious
thing I'm
again.
worried is Echo was looking really. Echo is all right, I believe, but I would definitely. Echo needs a good cleric. Is what I'm saying. I wonder if Calder took them back to the White Wing. I
That
didn't
seems
think
reasonable.
to go there. I came here because I thought we were going to all meet here. But Calder does like the stuff. Okay. Well, it's early. They have probably had lots to do. I suppose we can wait. If you don't mind me waiting here, I can wait downstairs if you prefer. But yes, I can tell you. Really, what you know is what I told you yesterday. I was there for, today's fight, yesterday's fight. Time has meaning anymore. Oh, anyway, yes, they did do good. They did do good.
Is Creetha flustered in front of Barnabas?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Is
Yes.
she like on the way to a panic attack? Like
Just a little bit, yeah. She wasn't expecting to have a one-on-one with Barnabas.
So
Like that's a little more intimidating to have like it's just her there. She doesn't even have Stinky. And like it's like she doesn't even have any extra information.
So-
She's just there.
as you begin to panic, your mind is filled with calm certainty. And Durgadin says in the back of Kreetha's mind, "Don't worry, I'm with you, and I'm at least as much a dwarf as he.
Yes, I do know that. I do know that.
You are not alone."
True. True. I did not mean to were you sleeping? I haven't slept for-
Yes, Durgadin's voice quiets again, and Barnabas smiles and says, "Why don't you meet me at the table downstairs? We can get something to eat, and then in 12 to 14 hours, when Calder wakes up, we can go forward from there. Sound good?"
Calder sits bolt upright.
Yes.
Someone is throwing shade at me.
Yes. Hopefully Calder will have the good sense to find cleric for Echo. They're very, very, very good.
I'll come
But
down in a
it
few
is-
minutes.
Definitely a difficult sport. I'll see you soon. And she goes back down and
Oh,
she gets the
before you
table.
go,
Yes?
he pulls the bag that you gave him. He said, "This ain't mine." And he holds it out.
Well,
He
no,
says-
I mean, I just wanted you to hold it. I was going to see if any of the mages. Do you have the other things too? Because there was that book that I was going to hand Calder and my plushie. Because if I'm going to deal with all of this, I need something to hug.
They're in the bag.
Awesome. Wait, they fit in the bag?
He opens the bag, and he looks into it, and he says, "See for yourself. Make a dexterity check just to see. I'm just curious how this might go."
Barnabas pushes Kreetha inside.
No,
the bag.
I'm
Like,
not. No,
get
I'm just
training.
seeing if like
Feel
I
it
because
can't remember.
Real.
Am I doing a save or an ability
this is a
roll?
check. So it's the C instead of the S next to dexterity.
The C instead of the X? That's not how
Instead
it
of
works
the
on
S.
screen.
the ability,
on-
so it's on the left
it's on the
side.
It's
ability
not on the
side,
abilities.
not on-
That's what I was asking.
Oh
I'm
yes,
like,
sorry about that.
Different displays.
Okay, so for a moment, like you stick your head down,
I have a
and
panic attack.
it's deeper than you expect it to be, right? You look
Yes.
in there, and you're like, I could fall into this bag, and you manage to back up and not get dizzy enough to tumble in, which would have been hilarious. And so you step back, and he says, "Yeah, bigger on the inside."
It's one of these. Oh, okay.
Another
Ties
one.
it back up.
You know not to put them together, right?
Now,
I love how this is becoming a running thing.
all right. Yes. Thank you. I'm going to, I guess, tie this on my belt, and I will see you downstairs. Thank you. Bye.
So you head out, and yeah, what you've got is essentially a small bag of holding.
Yes.
It's not, whoa, somebody just dropped. So I am going to switch over.
Oh no.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yes.